Good morning. Today we're going to go over the combination vehicle inspection checklist. This is the checklist you get to use during your test. However, for today's, since we are covering what you will need to know for your inspection, we'll be using the inspection breakdown that has been made. Each individual section you'll be checking out is highlighted in yellow, and as you progress through it, they'll be individually grayed out as you move on to the next section. We'll begin with the air or hydraulic brake check. For this, we're going to climb into our vehicle. As we climb in, we'll maintain 3 points of contact, and we'll definitely have had our keys with us the whole time. We'll start by clicking the key once and letting the semi run through its safe start procedures. The gauge will go up and then down, returning to their proper position and completing the safe start. We'll then start the vehicle. For the first portion of this, we'll be covering the air gauge and governor cutoff check. The wheels are chalked. We've started the vehicle, and we're expecting that the air gauge is working and builds air to the pressure for the governor cutoff between 120 and 140 psi. On this truck, being a Freightliner, this model will cut off at approximately 127 pounds of air, which we will note here on these two gauges, and we will listen for the sound right there. We'll now perform our air leakage rate test. We will turn the engine off, return the key to the on position, let the vehicle run through a safe start. We will now begin by disengaging both the tractor and trailer brake. With those two brakes released, we'll wait for both of our needles to stabilize and for air to stop hissing. Now that the air has stopped hissing, we will depress the brake pedal fully, and we will hold it for 60 seconds. During this time, because it is a combination vehicle, the truck is not allowed to lose more than 4 pounds of air in that 1 minute. With that completed, we'll move on to the air warning device test. Without restarting the vehicle, we'll make sure the key is still in the on position, and we'll begin fanning the brakes to relieve air pressure. Here, our air warning device comes on. On this truck, it comes on at approximately 70 to 75 pounds of air. This buzzer must activate before it reaches 55 pounds of air. We will continue to fan the brakes. We are now testing that the emergency brakes deploy at the required levels. They are not allowed to deploy higher than 45 or lower than 25 pounds of air. Here, at approximately 35 pounds, the trailer brake has activated. We will continue fanning. And here, at 20 pounds, the tractor brake is activated. Now, we will turn the key off. We'll ask our assistant or instructor, whoever is with us, can you remove the chocks for me? And then we'll pick our chocks up for us, because the next portion will require the vehicle to move. And we'll just get ahead of the curve by asking them to do this now. Alright, with the chocks up, we will move on to the internal lighting indicator section. We are skipping parking and trailer brake because we are currently out of air and we need air for that. So for your internal check, we will click the key back to the on position, let the vehicle complete its safe start, and then start the vehicle. As we go through our lighting indicators, we are verifying each of the items that they function only on the internal side of the cab. For the external portion, we'll need our assistant again to help us verify those. When we started the vehicle, we verified that our ABS indicators came on here, and the trailer light flashed on and off, indicating the ABS functions. We will now check our left turn signal, our right turn signal, our emergency four-way flashers, and turning the headlight switch on, we will verify that our headlights function and our high beams. We will now turn that back off. We'll move on to emergency equipment. We will have 3 reflective triangles and 6 fuses. They will be placed here for our test, or they'll be stored underneath the seat. You'll do that by lifting it up and showing the instructor, but for the test they will be positioned here. We'll also verify we have a properly charged and secure fire extinguisher. It is mounted here, and you'll verify the charge off of the dial on top. We will now inspect that our windshield is clean and there are no obstructions except for an inspection sticker, which is allowed. There can be no damage such as cracks or flaws to the glass. We'll inspect that the mirrors are clean and adjusted properly while we are inside the vehicle. We'll inspect the wiper arms and blades are secure and not damaged, and we'll demonstrate they operate by turning them on and off. We'll inspect that the windshield washer fluid works, and we'll demonstrate it works by holding down the windshield washer button to activate it. For our heater and defroster, we will identify and describe the heater and defroster, and we'll show that they work properly by turning all 3 gauges all the way to the right and placing our hand on top over the vent to verify it blows hot air. With that complete, we'll turn them back off. And we'll move on to our horns. We have 2 horns in this Semi. We have an electric horn here in the center and an air horn here on top. With those complete, we'll move on to the next portion. Our next portion is the parking and trailer brake check. For this portion, you will need to put your seatbelt on, as it will be moving. Our air has built up to approximately 100 pounds, so our vehicle brakes will work. From here, we will disengage our trailer brake, place the vehicle into drive, and attempt to pull on the tractor parking brake to verify that it can hold us in place. We will now engage the trailer brake and disengage the tractor brake. Here we're verifying that the trailer can hold us in place should the tractor parking brake fail. With that complete, we will now perform our service brake check. We'll do this by disengaging both brakes. Our vehicle is still in drive. With both hands on the wheel, we will accelerate to approximately 5 miles an hour and then step on the brake. We're testing that our service brake functions properly and the vehicle does not pull to the left or to the right, which could indicate an issue with the braking system. Thus coming to a complete stop without any pulling. We'll set the vehicle back to neutral. Pulling our tractor brake, we'll deploy our tractor and trailer brakes and set our parking brake. We'll now move on to the lights operations check. This is similar to what we just did inside. However, we will need an assistant to go up to the front and verify that the external lights work, and we will have to yell at them out the window, so we'll turn the tractor off. With the tractor off, we'll key the key back onto the on position. That way all of our lights function properly. Now, can you go to the front of the vehicle? You'll describe each light to the person outside to verify that they function properly. We'll start by flipping our headlight and running light switch on. Headlights, running lights, and overhead markers. High beams. Now we can turn our switch off. Left blinker. Right blinker. 4-way flashers. We'll ask them to go to the rear of the vehicle. Can you go to the back of the trailer? And here we'll perform the same check, minus the high beams and low beams, but plus the brakes. Running lights. Brake lights. Left turn signal. Right turn signal. Four-way flashers. With the completion of our external lights check, we will now move on to the external check of the vehicle. When we're exiting the vehicle, we will take the key with us and place it into our pocket, and we will climb out of the tractor, maintaining 3 points of contact at all times.